A quiet summer afternoon in 2016, a young woman on her bicycle, an eerie silence that followed. Welcome to the chilling case of Sierah Joughin. Sierah Joughin was not an ordinary 20-year-old. A student at the University of Toledo, she was a vibrant beacon of life, residing with her grandparents in the quaint town of Metamora, Ohio. On that fateful Tuesday, the 19th of July, Sierah embarked on a cycling trip. The rural charm of Fulton County, located west of Toledo, was her chosen path. Alongside her, pedaling with equal enthusiasm, was her boyfriend of 7 years, Josh Kolasinski. The two of them, young and in love, were oblivious to the extraordinary turn their ordinary day was about to take. Picture this: the sun shining brightly overhead, a warm breeze rustling the leaves, the rhythmic turning of bicycle wheels, and the carefree laughter of two young souls. It was a scene straight out of a painting, a snapshot of a perfect summer day. But as the old saying goes, appearances can indeed be deceiving. As the day waned into evening, Sierah's mother, Sierah Joughin, arrived at her parents' house. A sense of unease washed over her when she noticed something unusual. Sierah's bedroom light, usually a beacon in the night, was off. For her, it was an aberration from the norm, a signal that something was amiss. That single extinguished light bulb was the first hint of an eerie silence that had befallen their home. It was a silence that was out of place, a silence that was not comforting, but unsettling. It was a silence that echoed the absence of a beloved daughter, a cherished granddaughter, a loving girlfriend. The silence, however, was not destined to last. It was about to be shattered by the harsh reality of the chilling story that was unfolding. A story that would turn an ordinary summer day into a memory etched in the annals of true crime. The silence of the night was about to reveal the chilling story of Sierah Joughin. As the darkness crept in, the whereabouts of Sierah became a mystery. Her absence was loud and clear. Sierah's mother, Sierah Joughin, first noticed something was amiss when she arrived at her parents' house to find her daughter's bedroom light off, which was out of the ordinary for the vibrant 20-year-old. A sense of unease began to seep into the hearts of her loved ones. The hours following Sierah's disappearance were a blur of confusion, worry, and fear. Her family, unable to locate her, began to panic, their minds filled with the worst possible scenarios. They reached out to friends, neighbors, anyone who might have seen Sierah that day. No stone was left unturned in their desperate search for their beloved Sierah. But as the hours turned into a full day and then another, the ominous silence from Sierah was deafening. The once lively and bustling home of her grandparents was now filled with an eerie quiet, broken only by hushed whispers and the occasional ring of the telephone. Local authorities were alerted of Sierah's disappearance and swung into action. The rural tranquility of Fulton County was shattered as police cars and search teams descended upon the area. The vast fields and quiet roads Sierah loved cycling on were now being combed for any sign of her. The investigation was in full swing, with the local community rallying together, their collective sense of worry and fear echoing through the county. Posters with Sierah's face were plastered on every available surface, her bright smile a stark contrast to the grim reality of her disappearance. As the days rolled on, the initial shock gave way to a grim acceptance. The vibrant, lively Sierah was nowhere to be found, and her family's worst fears began to set in. The local authorities worked tirelessly, following leads and interviewing possible witnesses, but all efforts seemed to lead to dead ends. With each passing hour, the hope of finding Sierah alive was dwindling. The once hopeful faces of her family and friends were now etched with worry and despair, their hearts heavy with the unbearable weight of uncertainty. In the face of despair, the investigators were piecing together the puzzle with determination and tenacity. The investigation into Sierah's disappearance was far from straightforward. It was a race against time, a battle against the odds, and a testament to the resilience of those who refused to give up. The authorities embarked on a meticulous search, scouring the rural landscape of Fulton County, looking for any clues that could lead to Sierah. Every blade of grass was examined, every possible lead pursued. The local law enforcement was soon joined by state authorities and federal agents. Teams of dogs were brought in to aid in the search, their keen senses tuned for any trace of Sierah. Helicopters scanned the landscape from above, their thermal imaging cameras peering through the darkness of night. The community too rallied around the family during this harrowing time. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers joined the search efforts, combing through fields and forests, knocking on doors and distributing flyers. The spirit of unity was palpable, the collective hope a beacon in the midst of despair. But the investigation was not without its challenges. The vast rural terrain, the lack of direct witnesses, the passing of each agonizing minute, all these factors seemed to conspire against the investigators. Yet they remained undeterred, fueled by their resolve to find Sierah and bring her home. The authorities were relentless in their pursuit of the truth. They examined Sierah's social media accounts, interviewed friends, classmates, and acquaintances, and painstakingly reconstructed her movements on that fateful Tuesday afternoon. Each piece of information was a potential clue, each detail a possible lead that could crack the case wide open. As the days turned into weeks, the tension was palpable. The fear of the unknown was ever present, yet there was a glimmer of hope. The investigators clung to it, their commitment unwavering. They knew they were not just searching for Sierah, they were also seeking justice, seeking answers, seeking closure for a family plunged into a nightmare. The investigation was leading toward a horrifying revelation. The silence was broken, but not in the way anyone had hoped. The grim reality surfaced when Sierah's fate was revealed. Her life, filled with youthful promise and dreams, was abruptly and tragically ended. This revelation sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community of Fulton County. In the midst of this tragedy, law enforcement was relentless. Their painstaking investigation led to the arrest of a man named James Worley, a man who, unbeknownst to the community, had a history of violence and had even served time for a similar crime in the past. The evidence was chilling. Items belonging to Sierah were found in Worley's barn, along with a makeshift dungeon and a collection of women's underwear. The trial was a marathon of heartache and horror. Each piece of evidence presented was a stark reminder of the brutality of Sierah's final moments. The community watched, their hearts heavy, as the gavel finally fell. The verdict: guilty. The sentence: death. A collective sigh of relief swept through the courtroom, but the victory was bittersweet. Life in Fulton County changed forever. The community was left to grapple with the reality of the evil that had lived among them. Trust was broken, replaced by a sense of unease and vigilance. Yet in the face of this darkness, the community found strength in unity, resilience, and a shared commitment to remember Sierah. Sierah's family, forever marked by this tragedy, channeled their grief into action. They fought for legislative change, leading to the creation of Sierah's Law, a statewide database of violent offenders designed to prevent such heinous acts in the future. Their courage and determination served as a beacon of hope for others dealing with unimaginable loss. In the end, justice was served. The monster who took Sierah's life was sentenced, and the community found solace in his punishment. Yet the void left by Sierah's absence remained. Her laughter, her dreams, her spirit, all irreplaceable. Every bicycle ride in the county, every glance at the University of Toledo is a reminder of the beautiful soul that was taken too soon. Justice was served, but the loss was irreplaceable. In the face of tragedy, Sierah's spirit lived on. As we navigate the final chapter of this chilling tale, we find ourselves in the enduring legacy of Sierah Joughin. Despite the heartache, her memory became a beacon, inspiring her family, friends, and the whole community to commemorate her life in the most fitting ways. Sierah was a bright light, extinguished too soon, but her radiance touched many. Her family, driven by the desire to keep her memory alive, established a scholarship in her name. The Sierah Joughin Memorial Scholarship aimed at supporting students at the University of Toledo, where Sierah herself was a student. This scholarship is a testament to Sierah's love for learning and her family's dedication to ensuring that her spirit continues to inspire others. Her community, united in grief, turned their sorrow into action. They rallied together to create community services in her honor. From organizing annual charity rides to setting up food drives, they found ways to transform their collective loss into a force for good, all while remembering Sierah. But Sierah's legacy didn't stop there. Her tragic end sparked a flame that resulted in significant changes in local laws. The case of Sierah Joughin highlighted the need for stronger safety measures, and the community rallied to ensure that her loss wasn't in vain. Legislation was passed, known as Sierah's Law, which established a publicly accessible database of convicted violent offenders in Ohio. It was a step towards ensuring that no other family would have to endure the pain that Sierah's family suffered. In the end, Sierah's story became a chilling reminder of the fragility of life, and the strength of a community united in grief and determination. Her legacy lives on, not just in the hearts of those who loved her, but in the actions of a community that refused to let her memory fade into oblivion. Sierah Joughin, a name that echoes in the halls of change, serves as a stark reminder of the power of unity, even in the face of unimaginable loss.